What does that stand for?
DEMPOS? DEMPOS?
Durable medical equipment.
Durable medical equipment, prosthetics, and supplies.
Oh yeah, prosthetics and
Supplies.
orthotics.
Right.
Where are you at? What page are you on?
Orthotic and supplies.
Chapters 4, 5, and 6.
Well, yeah, I'm in chapter 4 right now, flipping through. What page are you on, Michelle?
It's in chapter 6.
6?
I just got it wrote on the paper.
Oh, okay. She's like, I'm not answering that question. Would you stop asking me that question? Sorry. Okay, just call it how it is. Go back to our index glossary. Appendix, CMS, OSHR, APBS. Chunk nickel, bigger.
And we've already talked a little bit about it. Ms. Dottie mentioned it. CMN, you guys know what that stands for?
Certificate of Medical Necessity.
Right, Certificate of Medical Necessity.
Because it doesn't give us all the good abbreviations.
Certificate of Medical Necessity.
You want to know that too?
See, I don't like this. And our abbreviations in the back, it should cover all of our main terms. This, you know how many abbreviations are in here? And we get one page of abbreviations?
Yeah, that's because we only did 6 chapters.
I'm talking about for the whole book. That's it. When you want to look up what something is. What's a
It's in the definitions too. Right here
it
in
should
the
have abbreviations
definitions.
though, bam.
You can look up Certificate of Medical Necessity, CMN, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS. And it says, a document used by the 4
CMN.
DME MACs to assist them in gathering information before the supplier's claim is paid. It's in the glossary too.
Well, I know, but I think they should have a broader variety. I'm just saying, suggestions for your textbook. Because I know
He
you
doesn't
guys
make
do
the
that.
Not my textbook.
Well, I know, but you write down the wrong answers and whatnot. Suggestion is that they have a more in-depth term of abbreviations. Glossary, that'd be nice. Make life a lot easier. Like our anatomy one. Our anatomy one has everything there, and you can find them in 3 different places.
Okay.
Just saying.
So CMN, right, Certificate of Medical Necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dottie explained, to get DMEs, which stands for what?
Durable medical equipment.
Durable medical equipment. You have to have a medical need for it. You can't just get crutches or a CPAP machine, right? Well, I guess you can if you want to pay for it out of your own pocket. But if you want it to be covered, you have to have a medical need for it. And so you have to submit a request, and then when it comes back, you would get the Certificate of Medical Necessity, and then we can give you whatever
Crutches.
you need. Crutches,
Wheelchairs.
wheelchair, whatnot. Okay. There is a lot more information about ICD-9, CPT, HCPCS that we did not cover in class. Obviously, it's not going to be on the test. That somewhere down the road, in the real world, you might need that information. If you're having to write down any CPT or ICD-9 codes. The key with the codes themselves in the real world is being able to locate them in the books.
Okay. Use your book.
There's a couple of different ways. There's the indexes that you can look at. You can go straight to the sections. And there are some specific things like you never, ever, ever code from the index. You can't just look at the index and see diabetes 250, that's the code. Right?
You have to cross-reference.
You're going to have to cross-reference to see if there's a third and fourth associated with it. Go to the section on diabetes, read what it says, see if it matches the diagnosis, All right, you know, that tabular index that we talked about a little bit, you know, that's where all this stuff is located. We didn't cover it because this class isn't a coding and building class. This is a 100 level. Gee whiz, I should at least have heard about ICD-9 and CPTs as MAs. Eventually, you will get, when you get into your labs, further on in your labs, you guys will actually probably have to write up
Super bills and
super
charts.
bills and procedures and charts and
Yes,
vitals
they
and all
do.
that.
So
Where-
notes.
Yeah, soap notes. So you guys will get more exposure to this. That's why this, as a 100 level class, is just a,
Briefer.
when you get to that level, you know, when you're taking the 200 level classes or whatever, you're gonna get in there and they're gonna say, okay, you know, I need you to write down, you know, or find me the ICD-9 code for this. At least you'll know what an ICD-9 is, right? Or a CPT code. I would love to impart some words of wisdom to prepare you for the rest of your time here, but I only know the other classes that I teach. I don't know a lot about